See if you guys can hear me now. How about now? Microphones are dead. Didn't charge them. Me and Wayne used them last time and hadn't charged them. So can you guys hear me now? Huh? Sorry about that, guys. I'm just having a lot of technical difficulties tonight. Yeah, like I said, Wayne is not here. Wayne is in California working for his dad and his family, getting a lot of stuff done. I talked to him about an hour ago, and he's enjoying beautiful sunshine while we here on the East Coast. Well, if you guys live anywhere near here, you know what's been going on. We've got Debbie Downer coming in, dumping lots of rain, flooding in certain areas, and prayers going out to everybody in that situation. I hate it, and it's just bad. I've seen it before, and it's not good. So you guys think about all those people out there, and fortunately, here in North Carolina, Greenville, where I'm at, hadn't been too bad. But in other areas near South Carolina, Charleston, areas such as that, man, they're getting a lot of rain, a lot of pounding on rain. I don't know about the winds, though. I don't know if they're kicking too bad. There's no wind out here. I told Wayne earlier this evening, I said, it's been windier days we've flown in than it is right now. But we've had some pretty decent downpours today, but not too bad. So just, keeping everybody in our prayers and hoping everything will be okay when it's all said and done. But with that, yeah, Wayne is basically, he's in sunny California. He said it was like 90 there today. He's trying to get the air conditioning fixed on his dad's house, busting up concrete, digging ditches. I mean, knowing him, you can't ever tell. Man, he's like a jack of all trades, and he's tries to go out there and do stuff for his dad a couple times a year and help them out and things like that and be with the family. And, but yeah. Let's see. I don't know, John. I don't know. I think everybody else says everything's good, man, on their end. I had internet problems tonight. That's why I was late, a few minutes late, because my internet, I came into my office earlier today and I had to reset my router and everything. I don't know why. I don't know if it's due to the rain, maybe we had lightning. I don't know. But yeah, I had to reset the router in the business to get the internet to come back on. So who knows, man? But I came in here tonight to get this going and had to change some settings around to get this on. So I'm sorry for keeping you guys hanging for a few minutes, but yeah, did everything I could to get in here. And of course, normally Wayne and I get here a little early and get things going, and I didn't tonight. So I didn't know I was going to have problems, but I should have known after my internet didn't work this morning for the business. I should have known that probably had some issues with this computer because it might have picked up those glitches too. I don't know. So, yeah, John, try to refresh, man, because like I said, I think everybody else is pretty good right now. My mics were dead, so I'm running off the regular mic tonight. Hope it sounds okay right now for you guys. But yeah, so with that, Legend Hobby, we put out a few things this morning. What's up, Jared? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here tonight. Put up a couple things this morning with the GB is out, guys. You can order the GB, I think it's the 120. Beautiful airplane. If you guys like a GB, I mean, not my biggest thing, but a lot of guys do love them. Wayne's got an older, it's probably a 25-year-old Great Plains GB. And somebody gave it to us at a fly-in, I think it was about a year ago, and said, hey, if you want it, take it. I don't want it anymore. So he took it home, and of course, he put servos and everything in it and made it electric, and he flies it and does great. He carries around a 2-pound battery on the bottom of that thing, and it does fantastic. And everybody that sees it that likes GBs really, like, man, where'd you get that? And da-da-da. So they really like it. And then, of course, what is it? The big Viper jet that they've also got, guys, that is super nice, man. And you can get that jet in several different schemes as well. You can custom order it, and they'll get it done for you and get it shipped to you. So those two things came out today on the Facebook page. And guys, if you have not liked Legend Hobby's Facebook page, please do that, because we're trying to get the numbers up for them and on the YouTube channel for Legend Hobby as well. And don't forget, when we do, we are going to give away a RV8 in the Old Crow scheme with a 35cc engine, guys. It's about a $1,500 package. So you definitely want to get your name in the hat for that one. And once we get the numbers where they need to be, we're going to do a random generator and we'll pick a winner. And somebody will be taking home a nice airplane and engine, guys. So that's awesome from Legend Hobby and Thomas over there. And he and I and Joe were trying to work all that out. Yeah, Jared. I mean, no, Wayne's in California, man. He's enjoying the sunshine with his family and doing some work out there for his dad. He's hanging out, and like I said, I talked to him about an hour ago, man, and he said he's working like a Trojan horse out there. But that's good of him. I mean, he goes out there and helps his dad and his family and stuff. So, we'll give you guys a quick roll call tonight. See who we got up in here. Like I said, I got in here about 5 or 10, not even 10 minutes late. Ken Wade, of course, Mr. Lucky himself. What's up, Jeff in Lower Alabama? LA Jeff, as I like to call him. We've got Scott Monarch. We have got Mr. Keith Christie. How are you, buddy? Johnny Stansel. We have, let's see who else is in here. John Holligan. How you doing, man? Loving that tape and stuff you sent me, man. Some great stuff. Phil Camp. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Had a bad time today, didn't you, man? Let's see who else we got in here going down the line. CBO Hobo, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Wayne said send you guys his regards. He was going to try to come on tonight from California, guys, but it's just a lot for him to get everything set up. He's trying to do stuff with his dad, and I think they were going to dinner or something like that, so he didn't get a chance to do that. Let's see who else we got in here tonight. Of course, my mom's in here hanging out with us as always, telling you guys to hit that thumbs up. Got Mr. Craig Beaven. Yeah, man, you need some waiters just about. It's actually not been too bad here in Greenville. Tim Touton, how you doing, Tim? Glad to see you as always. Let's see, I'm heading down the list here, guys. EQRC. EQ, I love that new plane you got, man. Even though it's old, it's new to you. And I love the chrome on the bottom of it, man. Just don't let the sun hit you and send a beam back and blind you. I've seen that happen to somebody, actually, on a Telemaster. It was a huge Telemaster, and it was chrome underneath the bottoms. And one day he was flying it and just about got blinded by it. Of course, we've got Mr. Jared Kirby always hanging out in the house. Glad to have you here, buddy. Let's see who else we got in here tonight. Philip Cockrum, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Like I said, just kind of wanted to stay on track with you guys. Let you know I care about you. That's why I got in here tonight and did this show. Knew Wayne wasn't going to be here. He thought he might be able to get in here. Paul McNeil, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. But he just said it was too much on him and he couldn't do it tonight because he's been working all day. Of course, he's 3 hours behind us here over in California. So I told him I would just get in here tonight, say hey to everybody, see what you guys were doing, make sure everybody's safe. Just kind of see if anybody in here is on the East Coast or near it like we are, which, like I said, we've not been too bad where we are. I think this system is supposed to move on up the center of North Carolina and then head up north towards New York and Delaware and all that good stuff. So sounds like they're going to get some pretty torrential rains as well. This thing, man, they were calling for like 2 feet of rain in like a day or two. That's like, I mean, they said it was like historic flooding, guys. I mean, might be the Lord trying to tell us all something. I don't know. But like I say, you never can tell. It's just a lot of rain in certain places. There's Wayne's sister. Hey, how you doing, girl? Good to see you here tonight, man. And happy birthday to Dad. I mean, I hear he's got a birthday coming up. And she said Wayne's on top of the roof right now. Well, could say he was on top of the moon, but, if he's on top of the roof, just tell him not to fall off. That's not good. So wouldn't want him to get hurt, So, but yeah, SoCal had an earthquake on Saturday, man. Dag. Tell you what, man, things are going crazy right now with all the stuff all around global warming. I guess. I don't know. I think it's going to miss us here, Jeff. In the mountains, they said we could definitely get some rain bands off of it. Nothing like what the East Coast is going. Yeah, Jared, you're what, about 4 or 5 hours from us? So, yeah, you're more west. And, this thing's actually veered more to the center of North Carolina. It was supposed to run right up the coastline. And I think it's gone more inward towards like Raleigh, Charlotte, kind of in the center, and going to head up north and get out of here. So, like you said, Keith, as close as God, and he's going to be. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I hope he doesn't meet him falling off that roof. That's for sure. But yeah, guys, like I said, Legends got a lot of stuff coming in, and if you guys want something, you need to get it because I believe they may have one more shipment, and then it's going to be probably next spring. So if you want winter projects and you want something to do, you better get it now because this stuff isn't going to last long, guys. And so with that, push that button, click that button, whatever it is you got to do. Tell your wife, tell your kids you want something for Christmas. Let's see. EQ said, thanks, Jeff. I've got to see Sean can make guns on his printers. Sean can do anything, man. You just tell him what size you want. Reach out to him over at Scale RC Engines, and he will make that for you, man. He's amazing with what he can do. And that's Scale RC Engines, guys. He does 3D printing for, well, I'll show you in case you guys have not seen it. This is the radial for the front of the T28 sitting here behind me, guys, right here. And as Wayne says, Ken and Barbie Cam. Yeah, there you go, right there. This is the Scale 3D printed. It looks like metal, guys. I mean, that looks really nice. And I added the wires and the push rods to mine, and the little areas that you see up in here that look like kind of brass. I painted those with a paint pen. And yeah, EQ, he can hook you up, man. That's not a problem. He's awesome over there. And also all of the Scale cockpits in this T28 are also all done by Sean over at Scale RC Engines. And waiting for Wayne to get back, and we're going to get some fuel in this thing, get it running. I've got the receiver put in it. I've got all the wiring pretty much done. Everything's pretty good. We've got smoke system hooked up in it. And so as soon as he gets back, our plan, well, actually before he left, was to try to get some fuel put in this thing, but we just didn't have time. He was really busy with his work. Our college kids are moving back into town, and he takes care of a lot of the apartments and things like that for one of his bosses. So he had to, get all that stuff done before the college kids came back in. And so he was running like a one-arm paper hanger, as they say, last week or two before he left. Kenny, what's up, buddy? F you, and hope you're not floating away, man. I know you guys got some water down in Florida too, buddy. But yeah, like I said, Sean can print you anything, EQ, and you just tell him what size you need, what you're looking for, and if he can, get it digitized or whatever, and the size you need, he can get it done for you. Kenny, did y'all get a whole lot of rain down there, man, at where you're at in Florida? I know it came kind of in the top panhandle of Florida in that area. So no flooding for me. Well, that's a blessing, man. Good luck. I'm so happy there. Like I said, a lot of people are having it pretty bad right now. And it's not good in certain areas, especially around Charleston, South Carolina, which I saw in the news today. I think they weren't doing as bad as they thought they were. But they're calling for up to 20, 24 inches of rain in certain places in lower North Carolina, down around Wilmington and places like that. So keep them in your prayers, guys. Think about them because it's a bad thing when your house gets flooded and you got to take care of all that stuff. I've been there one time and done it, and it's not fun. Got rain, but no damage. Well, that's good, man. Hopefully this will be the one and only we have to deal with this year, but tell you what, let's see, 2 weeks ago, we got a lot of rain here. We got all this rain now. And if we did have a storm come in here with high winds, man, it would be devastating because oak trees and all kinds of trees they're going to be down because the ground is so saturated. But hopefully this thing will be out of here the next day or two and head on up north. I think it's moving somewhat quickly. I've been watching the news some today, but been busy at work all day long, so I haven't had a chance to really keep up on it, except for looking on the radar at it. So hopefully it'll get on up out of here. But yeah, so there's not been any flying going on because I was busy all last weekend and a little breezy here too. Actually, Sunday was somewhat windy, not too bad, but I wouldn't have flown. It was a crosswind all day, and I think it was like 16-mile-an-hour hit and miss crosswinds. I ain't flying nothing. I don't have to risk it, so I'm not going to do it. Um, but yeah, so and I know Banana Hobby. I was watching Jeremy Solt put together and unbox the new F-22 turbine. Man, that is a super nice jet, and if it flies as good as it looks on videos I've seen, I know Tim Toutont's got one. Can't wait to see you fly that, Tim. Get it on done now. You got to hurry up and get it done. Um, I know that Bobby over at RC Plane Reviewer, he's got a very nice T-45 Goshawk, man, that I love a Goshawk. So it's kind of got my eyes and ears perked up. I've watched his videos flying that airplane and or that jet rather, and the smoke system and everything on it. I don't know. It's for me, it's a lot of money to get me maybe what 3 to 4 minutes off a jet that costs what that does when you're getting 3 to 4 minutes off of a electric one and you don't have all the crap you got to deal with a turbine. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the turbine. I love the sound of it. I love the smell of that fuel. It's a super nice thing, but for the price, I could understand it maybe if you were getting 6 minutes, 8 minutes out of it. But every time I've seen Bobby fly, and he might could, get a little bit more, but every time he's flying it and landing it, he's flying it around 3 to 4 minutes tops. And, he's landing with maybe a quarter tank, so you could push it, I guess, if you wanted to, maybe 5 minutes. But I don't know. If I was spending that kind of money for a foam jet, I think I'd want to be getting at least, 8 to 10 minutes out of it. And I don't know, maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just, I would want more flight time for that kind of money because you're talking over $3,000 by the time you buy the turbine to put in that jet and get it set up like it should be. It's a lot of money for, well, as we say, a block of foam because it's a flying cooler, however you want to slice it. And now the aerofoam jets are nice. I've got the L39, and I'm getting right around 3.5 minutes on 12S with a JP fan in it. So I'm roughly getting close to what he's getting. I know I'm probably not getting the top end speed, so I don't claim to be. I'm not getting the smell. I'm not getting the fuel. I get it. I get where it's coming from. And, there is something to be said for the real turbine, and I would love to get one and possibly do it. I just think I'd want something with a bigger tank or something on it because if I'm going to put that kind of cash in it, I just want more time out of it. I mean, that's kind of like you guys, you fly electric, you fly gas. Okay, well, you can take the same airplane, you set it up with, 6S, 8S, 12S. You're going to get, roughly average maybe a couple of minutes more out of a 8 to 12S setup, but you fly gas in that same airplane and you're going to get more time. And granted, you've got more probably in the engine depending on what you run on it. And you're getting the sound and the smells and all this good stuff, which like this airplane here, it also depends on the size of the tank and what you put on it, how much weight you're carrying around. There's a lot of stuff, in that aspect. And so, I like electric for ease. I like electric for getting out on the field, carry a couple of batteries. If you don't want to take a charger, you fly your packs, you go home. And then if you're flying gas, on the other hand, you got to take your gas. Now, personally, the P-47 that I have is a 4-stroke. So very little oil in that engine. I'm running non-ethanol fuel with just a slight mix in it just to keep everything lubricated. And I flew it. The last time I flew it at the field, I think I flew it for, I want to say it was around 6 minutes. And I landed, and the tank barely had a dent in it. So, but I didn't kill it. I wasn't ripping it up. I'm getting used to the plane, just flying it around, things like that. And EQ, that's right. Put some drop tanks on it, man. I've got the drop tanks actually that came with that P-47. They're like this big around, about that long. I just hadn't put them on there because I don't know. Me personally, I don't like the way they look on the plane. Not to mention it's more drag. But yeah, if I was going to put them up there, I'd probably get the ones from Legend Hobby, paint them the color that the factory ones are, and put some powder or something in them so I could drop them with the actuators that Legend Hobby sells and make them bust open when they hit the ground rather than the factory ones. I think the actuators, guys, for the bomb drop is $15 a piece. And those servos, I believe Thomas said, would hold roughly somewhere around 15 pounds if you had to do it. You know, you're not going to put a 15-pound bomb on a plane like that, but I think they're up to 15 pounds. So that would be pretty good weight. And the bombs that I've got, Wayne and he sent us, I mean, they're about the same size, about this big around, about that long. And Wayne painted them up. And you put them on the actuator on the plane and you flip the switch and the actuator lets go of it. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, if I was going to do that, I would do it with the 3D printed ones over at Legend Hobby instead of the factory planes on the P-47. So I had a friend of mine, I think I told you guys, I had a friend of mine actually called me last weekend, and he's got several planes for sale. He's got two new Hangar 9 P-47s. One of them's in the box. One of them's already been put together, already had lights installed, retracts and everything, just doesn't have an engine or motor. And but never flown. It's just not in the box, but it does have the lights installed. The one in the box has no lights. And he's asking, like, I think $450 for either one, whichever somebody wanted, which is right around what I think retail for that kit was. But you can't get that kit anymore. And a lot of people like that Hangar 9 P-47. So, you know, yeah, Jared said turbines are cool, but I can't spend that much money on them. I'm pushing it for the 50cc bird. Well, that's what I say, man. So it's a matter of what your wallet allows. And again, the turbines are cool. Now, the bigger turbines, of course, are going to carry bigger tanks. You're going to get more flight times. I mean, I've seen some of the guys that come to our fly-ins, and they're getting 8 to 10 minutes and landing and having a great time. After, you know, you think about it, after 8 or 10 minutes of flying something, you're kind of tired. You're ready to land it. Your nerves are shot. I mean, I don't know about yours, but mine are. And at some point, you kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, I just want to land. The Cessna, like the one in this box, damn, everything's backwards. The one in this box right here behind me from Legend Hobby, the Cessna 182, which is a fabulous plane, guys. And like I said, that plane comes out of the box pretty much ready to fly, other than a few little put together things. All your push rods are there, your servos are there. All you got to do is put a receiver and a battery and put your elevator and your horizontal in, and you're ready to go, guys. That plane is a hell of a deal for $549. I'm just telling you, it flies amazing. It's electric. I can get on a 5200. I'm getting roughly, I don't know, I could probably get 15 minutes out of that airplane. After about 8 or 9 minutes doing kind of what you're going to do with it, loops, rolls, whatever, maybe some wing overs, things like that, you're kind of like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready to land. So I don't even ever carry it to the full time. And Wayne actually gets bored trying to film it because he's like, man, how much longer are you going to fly? And so, but if you want a plane, again, that you can get out, take 2 or 3 batteries to the field with you and get some good fly time in, that plane right there is a phenomenal deal. If you guys wanted to put gas on it, you could. But like I said, it's a matter of what your preference is. And I'm getting into the gas, and I love it. I mean, Wayne's kind of really teaching me a lot about, you know, these gas engines, how to tune them. And that's the main thing that I'm seeing with these gas engines, guys. You got to know how to tune them. You got to know when the carburetor needs to be fattened up. You got to know when it needs to be taken down. You got to know the sound. You got to listen for it. The break-in sounds, the once it's broke in, what it should sound like, what it should idle at. So, you know, there's a lot of things going on, you know, with a gas engine versus throwing a battery in an airplane. You don't have to worry about that. You just got to worry about your time, and you got to worry about low voltage. You don't have to worry about gas. So there is something to be said for either one. But again, when you fly that gas, man, I'm telling you, ain't nothing like that sound. And it's just like, it's kind of like Tim the Toolman, you know what I mean? It just makes you feel something different. And I personally didn't know that until I did it. And now it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. And so it does kind of pull you into it. But learning how to tweak the motors to make them perform like you should is an art form. Some of the older guys are really into it, especially guys with the nitro, two strokes, things like that. They just have an ear for it, and they can. Wayne was sitting at the field one day, and the guy was trying to start his plane, and Wayne looked over at me. He said he needs to fatten up that carburetor because he's breaking it in, and that's why it ain't starting. That's why it ain't running, or whatever. And I'm like, you can tell that? And he's like, yeah. He said he needs to do that. So we sat there and watched him trying to start it. Finally, Wayne said, hey, he said, I know y'all got a lot of people over there working on that plane. I didn't want to get into it. He said, but you need to fatten up that carburetor and it'll start right up. So they fattened it up. Sure enough, man, second time she fired right up. Wayne looked at me, he said, there you go. I was like, tag, so I personally sitting there wouldn't have really, I guess, not knowing, but I'm learning, and that's what I like. And that's why with the couple of planes so far that I have built and got the motors running, not including this one behind me, learning to break in an engine, balance a prop is critical for any airplane. Gas engines vibrate like crazy anyway. And if you go putting a prop on there that's even so slightly out of balance, and you wouldn't think it was a big thing, you think, oh, it ain't bad, I didn't balance prop, it's running great, motor's running great. Just that extra vibration, guys, you're asking for problems because things are going to vibrate loose. Your screws in your servos, your screws in your mounts. It's just a lot going on, and it can cause problems. So, hey, Derry Lowe, what's up, buddy? Thank you for coming all the way from Malaysia. We appreciate that, man. We've got people from all over the country in here watching us. We thank you for that. But yeah, just balancing a prop, guys, on an airplane makes such a big deal. And it's one of those things that if you get you a prop balancer, it's not hard to do if you watch somebody like Wayne that knows exactly what he's doing and gets it perfect. And that's why I say Wayne's taught me a lot about that. And, you think typically airplane comes with a prop out of a box. You think, well, it's balanced. Well, it probably isn't. And just from what I've seen, everyone we've put on a prop balancer, I'd say, well, I don't say everyone, 98% of them are not balanced. And it could be a blade, it could be the hub. And a lot of guys, they balance the blades, they don't balance the hub. And, you want both to be in sync with each other because if your blades are right, but your hub's not, you're still going to have vibration. And there's two different techniques to doing that. And then you get into your 3-blade props, your 4-blade props. You've got to know how to do that too. And so Wayne's taught me a lot about doing that. And it's actually kind of fun to get it to balance because you have to either shave weight off or you have to add weight, and you got to know where to add it and where to take it off. So it's really cool to take these props that we get for these airplanes and sit here and get them perfectly balanced so that they don't, when you put them on there, they don't move left or right and they don't move side to side. That prop is balanced. And no matter if you turn it and it turns and it stops in one spot and it sits there, it's done. And that makes a difference in the vibration of even an electric plane because that little bit of sound vibration is kind of like balancing the fan on an EDF. If you hear a funny whine or vibration or whatever, it's not good and you're not getting the max efficiency out of that fan. And there's several ways to balance an EDF fan too. And Guniak is another one that shows a great video on how to do that at the field. If you guys ever have a question, you can pull that video up and watch it. Scott Monarch said, have my Dubo prop balancer with Super Tucano 5-blade in front of me. All right, man, well, you're balancing 5 blades. That's that again. Like then you got to get each one. You can't just do one blade. You got to do all of them and get that prop where it'll turn in any direction and sit there balanced and not move. And the more blades you get, the more it is to it. And then you got to make sure the hub's balanced. So it's more just throwing it on a plane. And so, again, all those things matter whether you're flying gas or electric. You want to have that prop balance so you get the max efficiency out of it. If you're flying an EDF, you want the fan balance so you're getting the max efficiency. You're not getting a whine or a vibration in the rest of the airplane. And I'll tell you something else too, guys. If any of you with the EDFs, might want to look at as well if you fly off the grass a lot like we do. Now, our grass field is beautiful. It's manicured like a fairway in a golf course. However, this time of year, we have a lot of condensation on the ground. Early morning, starting in the late afternoon, the dew starts to settle. Early morning, the dew's already there. The grass might have been cut a day or two prior. And if you're flying EDFs, basically what you're looking at is condensation from running down the runway gets pulled into your intake. And that condensation will get on your fan blades, and then any little grass particles get shredded in that fan, and they stick to your housing really bad, and they'll stick to your blades. I know because I've taken them apart and looked at them, and I mean, they're like green, and it's like tag. And the bottom of the plane doesn't look like it's got any grass or FOD, I guess, as it's called, on the bottom of it, but it's sticking to your fan. And then also, if you've got humid days, a lot of humidity here where we live, that grass gets sucked into the fan. It sticks to it because the air's wet or moist. I mean, if you're standing outside and you're sweating from humidity, I mean, it's in the air. That's why it's humid. And so all that air coming through that EDF is also moist air. And any fine chopped up grass particles are sticking to those blades, kind of like lawnmower blades when you're cutting grass. The grass can be dry, but grass will stick to those blades. And it does the same thing in your EDFs, guys. And you have a crash and you don't know why. Well, one thing to look at a lot of times is look at the fan. And the fan is easy to take out. I mean, these jets, they make them pretty simple to take out 4 screws, pull the foam off the bottom or whatever you're flying, and pop the fan out and look at it. And normally there's a ring of just finely chewed up grass around the housing and typically on the edge of the blades. And if you'll take a hex head driver, whatever size screw it is in the center of the fan, take it apart, pull the fan out, and clean it really good, clean the housing out really good before you put the fan in, you're going to get max efficiency out of that fan, because when you're reducing airflow, you're getting grass all over your blades. And I'm talking just a fine layer on the edge of each blade and a fine layer around the housing where those blades spin. I mean, truly, you'd be amazed at that is killing efficiency, and it's killing the airflow. It's kind of like if you got, say, an oscillating fan in your house, or a box fan for that matter, sitting in a window, and you turn it off, a ceiling fan in your house for that matter, and look at the blades. Typically, if you haven't cleaned it in a while, they're dirty on the edges of the blades. Clean that fan and notice the difference in the airflow. Same thing with your EDFs, your props. I was flying one day with my F7F Tiger Cat. It was a warm day. And we had a lot of gnats flying around because they're bad this time of year when it's hot and dry, especially. And you wouldn't have believed after a 7-8 minute flight when I landed that plane, the amount of dead bugs and little spatters of like blood where I was hitting bugs in the air on each blade of that airplane. And I was like, man, okay, so I take alcohol and I clean the edges of the blades. Well, if you've got a coating of bugs on each, edge of each blade, and then you've got, blood slung around each blade from whatever you're hitting in the air. Again, guys, that's throwing off your blade balance on each of your props, and it's killing efficiency. So all that matters when you want the most out of your airplane. So this time of year, especially if it's hot where you are, check your blades on your prop planes, clean them, and your EDF fans, especially this time of year with the condensation, the humidity, the dew on the ground morning and afternoon. Take those fans apart, clean them, clean the housing, clean the blades, put them back together like you took them apart. That's critical. Tighten all your screws, check your screws. I mean, things vibrate loose. It's a good time to just really, clean everything so that you get the most proper efficiency, whether it's gas, electric, or whatever it is. You can get the most flight time out of clean equipment. And what was the other comment I saw up here early? Thought I saw a comment up here. Oh, Kenny, so you got the Super Tucano. That is nice, man. That is super nice. Avios is killing it with that one, man. I will say that plane is super nice. And you're going to unbox it tonight. Awesome, Kenny. I have to check you out on that one, man. That's a beautiful plane. And like I said, the foam on most of the Avios planes is really nice. I've still got an Avios MiG 17 and the Arctic Camo in the box, never opened. Imagine that. And I've got one that I fly. So I just have two, but one of them's in the box, and I've never even taken it out of the factory box. And I don't think they have that plane anymore. They may, but that's a great flying jet. That MiG 17 it flies as good as the F-86. It's just a 90 mil. So let's see, just making sure I'm catching up on anybody's comments. Let's see. Yeah, I watched too the Trinket brothers with the Super Tucano, man, and again the lights, everything on that. I'm supposed to be getting one of those coming from Hobby King very soon. I hope. I talked to Stuart about it, and they're supposed to be getting me one out, so I'm waiting on that one as well. Yeah, Hobby King is really doing well since they've come under new ownership. Stuart was telling me about that months ago. He knew it was coming. And they're also trying to really step up their battery game with the Turnigies, the Graphings, the batteries, they're really, really doing well, and they fly for good periods of time. And I'll tell you guys, when Wayne and I were doing the testing for the C rating on all of the batteries from the Turnigies to HRBs, we tested like 6 battery brands, the Smart Packs, everything. The Turnigies actually had the most real C rating of any pack out there that we were testing, out of about 5 or 6. Never tested the SMCs with the monitor thing that we've got. I'd like to check one of those and see if the C rating is pretty real on those as well. Because, guys, we all know, again, C rating, your batteries, 100 C. Well, okay, let's prove it. Let's see what we got. And you're lucky, typically, if you're going to get 70 C out of a 100 C pack. Now, the graphene Turnigies that we tested that were 70 C on the label, they were 70 C according to our meter. They were the highest C rating of any pack we tested as far as accuracy goes. So that was pretty impressive. So, yeah, Hobby King's doing a good job. They're coming out with some really nice stuff. They've got, I think they've got a nice jet getting ready to come out, too, before long. So they're doing really good, and I'm glad to see that because I think a lot of Stuart, and Stuart's just a great guy, and I'm glad that he's back with them and doing really well. Let's see. Reckham Roy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you here tonight, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me solo tonight. I don't have a co-pilot tonight, right? There's the there's the chair for the co-pilot. He's in Cali tonight. He was up on a roof working now, according to his sister. Let's see. Jared Kirby said these new foam planes are nice from every manufacturer I've seen. They are built solid and fly great. Yeah, I mean, the technology is getting better and better, guys. That's the thing about it. And especially like the Aerofoam T45, the L39, the Goshawk, and then even HSD jets has always had some nice looking jets. For foam airplanes, foam jets, whatever. I mean, it's amazing what I've seen it come from. When I first started flying 15 years ago, the E-Flight Apprentice was my first airplane. And there won't many more. I mean, there was a few like the Park Zone little Cub. I had that. I started out with that too. But the E-Flight Apprentice was like one of the biggest, 48-inch wing foam airplanes out there. You didn't see all these P-51s, P-40s, things like that, the free wing jets. I mean, you didn't see those back 15, 16, 17 years ago when I first started flying. I mean, there might have been 1 or 2 manufacturers that made decent size foam airplanes, and the E-Flight Apprentice was my first beginner airplane other than the Park Zone Micro Cub, which I still have. And, it's amazing just what I've seen this hobby come from. It's, even with the radios and the technology and the radios like mine that have Wi-Fi. I mean, hell, you can watch a movie, order a pizza on my radio. And, when I first started flying, when guys had the 18-channel JRs, you were like, whoa, man, this guy's awesome. He's got an 18-channel JR, and I'm sitting here with a little 6-channel radio thinking, dang, look at his, I mean, it's always like, somebody's always got bigger, right? But The weather here in Greenville, Roy, is not bad. We're getting just some sprinkling right now. We had a couple of downpours earlier today, but it's right now it's really worse around the lower part of North Carolina. The further south and west you go, such as, like I said, Wilmington, Charleston, and it's heading up the center of North Carolina towards the Raleigh area and then moving northward. So we've been very fortunate here in Greenville. It's not been terribly bad. And we're about an hour and a half from the coast. So, yeah, again, man, just blessed. And like I say, I hope, which now our ground is saturated from a lot of rain a week and a half ago, a lot of rain. And that was just rain. And then this storm here, we've gotten some good rain from it over the last couple of days, but not like other places are getting. If we have a storm come in here with high winds, man, we're gonna have it bad because power lines are gonna be torn up and everything else. Krylon Fusion Satin Clear did the trick for balancing. Yeah, I mean, Scott, that's one thing. I typically, if a prop blade is heavy, I'll take a fingernail file such as these right here, something like this, or something like this, and I will just basically kind of do this on the blade, kind of going in towards from the outer edge to the center like this to keep it smooth. And I'll take off a little bit, and then I'll come back, put it on the balancer again, check it, and if it doesn't move as fast, you did something, so then I'll do a little bit more. Now, if I'm needing weight for the hub or whatever, I use medium CA. I kick it first, put a drop of CA, check it. If it needs more, I do it again, kick it again, drop CA, let it harden, and then I start spreading the CA out kind of in all directions and let it run down the first couple of drops and then kick it. And by doing that, the beauty about CA is you can take a fingernail file or whatever if you put too much, and you can file some of it off to get that proper balance. And CA being clear, you don't really see it, and you're not going to see it when that prop's spinning at how many RPMs anyway, but you don't get the vibration. So that makes it nice. Kenway said, I just looked at my mufflers and they are right. And the right one has the pipes are not pointing back, but at 30 degrees forward. Is that what you have? I'm trying to think, Ken. Yeah, I mean, and you said which one? Let's see. Let's see. And the right one, okay, so that's on this side, has the pipes are not pointing back, but about 30 degrees forward. I don't quite understand what you're saying. These right here, these are my right ones, and they go forward and then they turn back and slightly outside the plane. So if that's what you mean, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're supposed to do. And mine fit perfectly in my cowl. Now, with that being said, the cowl, it's a technique to getting the cowl on this airplane once your mufflers are installed. You've got to kind of turn it. When you're holding it straight onto the plane, you have to turn it kind of counterclockwise slightly, slide it up to the firewall, get it past the mufflers, and then pivot it back to the right or clockwise as it would be, and then your muffler should come out just ever so slightly. I think my mufflers are sticking out of my vent hole, probably, maybe, I don't know. Where is my ruler? I don't know. Mine are sticking out of the cowl probably about 4 millimeters, maybe. I'd have to measure that and make sure that's correct. But I mean, you can see them just enough. And I also, guys, I'll tell you something else, Ken. If you're going to be working on this, something else you're going to want to do, man, is to take and put the silver heat resistant tape. I put it on the inside, as you can see, right there, and I also put it on the outside. And that's just going to protect your cowl from the heat coming out of there, because there's a lot of heat coming out. And that basically is the tape that John Holligan sent me, which is right here, silver tape, heat-resistant tape. And this is a 3M brand. Well, actually, it's Scotch brand, 3M Scotch brand, yeah. And it's just thick enough that you can put it on here and take something like a plastic or an orange wood stick or a popsicle stick and get all the smoothness into it so it looks really good once it's finished. If I can get focused on that so you guys can see it. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. And let me flip this side around so you can see it. There you go. So yeah, I mean, it looks good. So yeah, I definitely would tell you, Ken, to do that. Take the time to get that done just because of the heat that's coming out of here. You don't want to mess your cow up. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the factory, the real airplane, the scale airplane, has silver right in here anyway. So and it looks good. I also put the rubber grommets, guys, in mine as well. Made the hole just slightly bigger and put rubber grommets, as you can see, that go all the way through. And then I can see where the screws go into the hole on the firewall. And then I have a rubber washer on the screw head as well. So again, helps with the vibration of all this stuff that's going on. And yeah, and there's the bottom opening for the main gear, for the nose gear to come out, in case anybody's interested in that as well. And then this, I had it just tacked in for fitment and everything prior. This will go in from the back side like such. And let's see, we rotated to about this direction right here. So yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to look like once I get this epoxied in. I wanted to be able to take it out just in case I need to modify anything. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're going to get with the 3D printed radial that goes in here. Now, it looks pretty badass, I must say, with the engine showing and not even the radio in there. It still looks good, but I'm going really trying to be super scale here. And I'm also leaning towards painting my gear white on this airplane too, because that is also scale. And I want that to look really good too. So yeah. So hope you guys maybe picked up some tips here tonight, man. Balancing props, gas versus electric, things like that. I mean, just trying to keep some topics going for you guys. And Wayne will be back hopefully next Tuesday night, and we'll see what shenanigans he got up to this past week in California, hanging out and doing stuff like that, and give you some of his insight as well on California, because he doesn't like going there. He has to go though and do stuff, and that's just what you do. But he'd rather be here in North Carolina on the other coast, so on the right coast, so to speak. But I just appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight and being here. All of you guys are awesome, and I hope you guys are all safe. And if you're in areas that are low and flooded on up and down East Coast or whatever, be safe, guys. Take care of yourself, and get a float plane. I mean, hey, you know, Jared Kirby just got the Albatross from Hobby King, and he's digging it. He's loving it. And when the snow comes, before you know it, it's going to be here. I told him he's going to have a blast with that Albatross in the snow, because that obvious Albatross from Hobby King, guys, flies amazing on grass, water, snow. I mean, you can fly that plane anywhere, guys, and that's a hell of a bargain. I think you can get it for, what, $299, and comes with everything but a receiver and a battery, and you're set, and you can have loads of fun. It's 1,700 millimeter, guys, so, and it's in the Coast Guard scheme, and it's just fun to fly and looks good in the air. Every time I fly it off grass, people are like, man, that thing will take off grass. I'm like a dream, man. So, and it has reverse. So if you need it on water, you need to back it up or whatever, you can. So, yeah, Jared's told me he's been flying off the lake some near where he lives, and he's really been having a good time with it. Because I told him when he mentioned to me that he was going to buy it, I told him, I said, dude, you're going to love it, especially being where you're in an area where you have snow and things like that. You're going to really enjoy it. He said, yeah, I didn't even think about that. He said, I can't wait for it to snow now. I said, hey, careful what you wish for, buddy. I hate cold weather, so, you know, I'm not looking forward to it myself. But anyway, guys, it's about that time, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and supporting the channel. And thank you to Legend Hobby and Scale RC Engines, Dave's RC Electronics, ZoomRC.net. I mean, guys, we're so lucky here to have the people that support this channel and always send us cool stuff. We got a fly-in coming up, guys, on September the 28th. And that's going to be our big fall fly-in in Kinston, North Carolina. We're going to have normally we have about 400 or 500 people. It's our Big Bird Warbird Classic, where you'll see some of the biggest composite warbirds you probably will see. You'll have some nice big jets that'll be flying. And we're giving away a Legend Hobby plane. We're going to be giving away a DA-70 and other nice door prizes to all our pilot registers. We're also be giving away some other prizes because normally our sponsors here kick in some cool stuff. Scale RC Engines gave away a $150 gift certificate last time. HRB gave away some batteries. Hobby King gave away some batteries. 5280 normally gives away an afterburner. So yeah, guys, we always have great prizes, and we have barbecue chicken, barbecue, French fries, hamburgers, hot dogs, drinks. We have a candy drop for the kids at 12 o'clock. We drop about 15 pounds of candy and let them pick it up. So if you guys can get anywhere, we also have what's it called? Primitive camping. We have electricity all the way down both ends of the line. You can hook your campers up, your trailers. You got air conditioning. We have lights all the way down the line. So if you guys want to get in here early, a day or two, set your camper up or your trailer and hang out and do some flying before Saturday's event, we'd love to have you. It's just a great time and a great bunch of people. And everybody's always welcoming newcomers to our field. We're also talking about doing a competition this year for the most scale airplane, static airplane. We're also talking about doing for different sizes because we will have half scale airplanes at this event, guys. I mean, that's how big some of these planes are. They're half scale. So we're trying to get it where we can possibly have winners in half scale down to smaller stuff. So that way everybody has a chance to possibly put out their nicest scale airplane on static display, even if they're not going to fly it, and the viewers vote on it. So anybody could possibly win. But, you know, that's really cool too. And then we also sometimes do a ping pong drop where you pick a number on a ping pong ball. We throw money. Everybody, I think you pay $5 for a ping pong ball. And normally our kiddies will get up to like $350, $400, and they put a pin out in the middle of the runway. And when the plane drops the ping pong balls, whoever's number is closest to the pin wins half of the purse, and the club gets half. So if it's a $400 purse, the winner gets $200 and the club gets $200. So it's just a great way to raise money. And hey, John, can't wait, buddy. Come on down. I'm looking forward to that, man. So yeah, like I said, if you guys, you know, can get here, you can drive. I mean, if Tim Toutant can drive 16 hours from Michigan to come hang out with us, guys, if you guys are 2 or 3 hours away, there's no reason you can't. It's going to be a great event, great time, good food, good fellowship, good fun, and good flying on top of all that. So, and we're hoping the weather should be great, especially September the 28th, typically a good time of year. Might sit around a campfire at night and have some campfire songs with you guys. But, and I think me and Wayne are going to try to get out to Bomber Field and be there for the Bomber Field event in Texas. I think that's the 15th or the 16th through the 18th or 19th. But yeah, I've been talking to Thomas about that. I just got to kind of get everything lined up with Wayne and see what we can do. But definitely want to get out there because Thomas has been so good to us, and we want to support him as much as he supports us because that's a big event for him. And I want to see the big B-17s, guys. So if you guys live anywhere near Texas, don't forget that event. It's going to be a great time, and we love to have you. And they cook a 12-foot pizza. So you might want a slice of that one, too. Can you imagine carrying that? Hey, honey, I got you a slice of pizza. Anyway, it's going to be a good time, guys, and a lot of cool events coming up. So try to support your clubs, your local clubs. Get out and let them know you care because that's what keeps this hobby alive. And teach your kid to fly, man. That's what keeps it going, too. Take a kid, get them into it. You never know. You might get them to be an airplane pilot or an airline engineer or anything one day just from showing them how to fly an airplane. And it gets them off of a video game, guys. They're not sitting here like this all day, you know, with their thumbs doing this. They're actually doing the thumbs, but they're doing it for real. And they might actually learn to fly an airplane and one day become a pilot or a commercial pilot or, like I said, an aero engineer or who knows. So, yeah, take a kid flying. But you guys have a great week. Hopefully, like I said, Wayne should be back next week. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Like I said, I know you enjoy seeing Wayne, but this is what you got. And I appreciate all of you guys' support. It means a lot to me. It's just, it's like I know each and every one of you. And it really means a lot to me right here that you guys come and hang out and just talk and be a part of what we do here because it's what we all love. And it means a lot to me. So you guys have a safe rest of your week. Be safe wherever you are and get some flying in and enjoy yourselves, guys, because life's short. And I will see you next week right here, same time, and we'll have another round and see what happens. You guys take care and have a great week.